All right, are we live? Are we live? Let me just quickly share out the stream to our people. Um, what a crazy 24 hours. What a crazy 24 hours. Hang on, everyone. I'm just going to share. Um, we're just going to wait to get some people joining the stream. Going to share it out. 1 second, everyone. All right, sharing the live stream. 1 second. Apparently, we've got one person viewing now. Thank you to the one viewer. It's going to grow. It's going to grow. 1 second. 1 second. Just going to share it out to my links, Facebook, Twitter, before we start. How are our three viewers going so far? Thank you guys for joining the stream. It's going to grow. I've just started it out. It's going to be a beautiful day. I mean, what a crazy 24 hours. I went to sleep not knowing whether Russia would still exist in the morning. They're still going at this point, but damn, that it was a close call for Vova Putin. 1 second, just sharing out the stream to some of the links before we start up. Comment in the chat stuff you think we should cover. Comment your thoughts. You reckon whether you think Putin is cooked. I personally think he's cooked. We'll get into that. How are we going? All right. All right, just about to start. Thank you everyone for joining. Drew for Prime Minister. Very well said, Freddie. One day perhaps. Carrie Rudin, thank you for the love heart as well. This is going to be a very special edition of the live stream. 7 watching now. Let's boost those numbers up. Beautiful. What we'll discuss. I think Putin is honestly cooked. All right, just sharing out the stream. This is very new for me. This is only my second stream, so please keep that in mind as we get going. Obviously, the enemies may have a look. They're gonna laugh that we have a small viewership right now. That's okay. This is a work in progress. Everyone's got to start somewhere. We've got 9 people viewing right now. Thank you for signing in, everyone. Okay, I thought at first we can just basically go through the events of the past 24 hours. It's quite amazing. Basically, last night when I went to bed at about 3 a.m. Australian time, I stayed up for 18 hours straight watching the coup. My loved ones and friends were a bit concerned for me, but I spent a lot of effort watching the coup, tracking what was happening, and just let me know as well, guys, in the chat, whether the audio is okay, whether the visuals are okay. Again, this is a very new thing for me with just starting out the streaming journey. One day we may have the Hassan type audiences with the thousands of concurrent viewers, but at the moment, obviously, it's a very, very new thing. I have since yesterday sourced a better microphone. Thank you for the one person who tipped and A couple people chipped in. We are going to keep building this up. Sup, Drew. Wish you a dope day. Thank you. I'm already having a dope day. Because Ian Miles Chong is sad. Jackson Hinkle is sad. All the Russian propagandists are sad. So how can I not be having a good day? Melting TV, how's the stream going? We're just starting now. 15 viewing now. It is starting to build. Thank you, guys. Share the link out with your friends if you can. Let's just try and build a decent viewership right now. Obviously, this is a new thing. Haven't really ever gotten into streaming before, but it's a good thing to get into because you get your own media platform. You can speak. It's almost like your own radio show. So, I'm still learning. Give me tips. A lot of you guys watch streams all the time, so give me tips, how you think I can improve. It's good audio. Thank you. Yeah, honestly, it's a lot better than yesterday. Oh my God, we've got a Michael Tracy update, so maybe we can listen to that a bit. Like, Michael Tracy is one of the funniest guys unintentionally around. I mean, this guy is a complete idiot. I think yesterday he was saying this isn't a coup because these are just a couple different military factions fighting against each other. I mean, what the fuck is the definition of a coup then? But Michael Tracy, some of the quote from Michael Tracy is just unbelievable. So let's listen to what he's saying. I think it might be funny. I'll add my thoughts.
Understand the whole, stepping back, Michael Tracy is one of the funniest guys unintentionally that you're
How's this guy?
Meaning that it's a marker of just general Russian civilizational collapse, like dating back to
How's this, guys? Can you hear
how far back do you
Can you hear these guys?
I wasn't thinking about Tchaikovsky. I was thinking about like the recent sort of justification for the Putin regime, like the idea that we are somehow better than the West because I don't know what their justification is because we don't have drag queens or whatever these the people like what's their sort of story as to why they're.
But you say their entire culture and civilizational model has failed.
But I mean,
that seems like more than just a critique of the rule of the reign of Putin in the last 20 years.
No, it's Twitter. If it was an essay, I would have explained. No, it's more about sort of the current regime. It's not about Tsar Alexander or.
But when you say culture, what do you mean?
I mean the culture around the the political culture, basically the idea, the way the state justifies itself as far as the nationalism, authoritarian, Christian state as like this as like the functional reason for it existing.
Yeah. All right. That makes sense.
I don't know, guys. If the coup attempt has really been neutralized, seems possible this whole episode would bolster Putin's rule rather than undermine it. How the hell can you think that Putin's rule has been bolstered right now? I mean, the guy was fleeing the city. I will just basically briefly explain what I saw yesterday. I was going to bed at about 3 a.m. Australian time after watching the coup unfold for almost 18 hours. And when I went to bed at Australian time, 3 a.m., it looked like Wagner had the momentum. They were 200 kilometers, 300 kilometers from Moscow. It looked like they would get to the city gates. It looked like the Russian military forces were melting away. It looked like a complete disaster for Putin. When Putin addressed the nation, I mean, it was a disaster when Putin addressed the nation. He didn't front up to people until he basically delayed the speech for an hour or more. And it was an embarrassment. He looked scared. He looked angry when he gave his speech. The Russian regulars had very clearly... had clearly refused to engage. I mean, they were melting away. The opposition was melting away. And so it's pretty extraordinary that you get the people like Michael Tracy saying, this actually bolsters Putin's rule. I mean, how can it bolster Putin's rule? It's really a joke. I thought Putin was a goner at 3 a.m. last night. And, for all the talk of, now there will be a compromise. Now there will be an agreement. I can't see how there can be an agreement. I can't see how there can be a compromise because Putin called this man a traitor. He said he stabbed the Russian soldiers in the back. He said he stabbed the Russian nation in the back. Prigozhin knows his battle with Putin is life or death. They know that it only ends when one of them dies. So I can't see Prigozhin, slinking away after this. I can't see it. I'll keep sharing the live stream. Obviously, we haven't had that many people join so far, but everything has its early days. Please share it around. Live stream going through Russian propaganda about the coup. It's actually amazing. I mean, Jackson Hinkle and Ian Miles Chong, they're all so happy right now. They for some reason think that they've won. And it's kind of interesting because what has Ian Miles Chong won? What has Jackson Hinkle won? They've won nothing. I mean, at the end of the day, Putin looked scared. The Russian regulars did not want to engage with Wagner. It was a joke. It was a joke. I mean, Putin looked like he was close to falling. Oh yeah, it's all a psyop. Of course, it's all a fucking psyop, Ian. It's all a psyop when Ian... It's all a psyop when Ian Miles Chong's fascist side gets embarrassed. So true, guys. It's all a psyop. Obviously, everything is a psyop. Oh yeah, and you can just tell this guy... Oh my god, the suck up to Elon Musk sometimes is so funny with Ian Miles Chong. Like Elon literally just steals his meme, and then Ian's like, "Please, sir, please, master, may I have a small crumb?" It's amazing. And then, oh my god, this is just disgusting. I mean, fuck. Elon is so cringe. He's so disgusting. So indicative of his cooked mindset. I mean, he's basically pretending right now. He's trying to pretend that he didn't spend the last 6 months pumping out Russian propaganda. It's an embarrassment. It's just a complete embarrassment. He's trying to present himself as a neutral observer right now. I mean, even Jackson Hinkle tried to do the same. He was trying to say, I'm a neutral observer. I'm an American. I don't have a dog in the fight. Even though, up till last week, he was selling Wagner merchandise. Comment your thought, guys. Comment your thoughts below. We've got the group chat. We've got the chat going. How's everything going? Tell me if the audio is still good. Hang on. Tell me if the audio is still good. We'll go through the Vatnik propaganda. I mean, it's actually embarrassing for people like Ian Miles Chong and even Elon. I mean, how do these people have no sense of shame? How do these people have no sense of shame whatsoever? I mean, their side gets so thoroughly humiliated and embarrassed. I mean, there's literally a military coup that gets to the Moscow city limits effectively, and holy shit! I mean, Elon and Ian Miles Chong can they're just pretending. Oh, everything's fine. Nothing's wrong. Arrest Hinkle. It would be funny. Man, I'm sure that man has committed many crimes. I'm sure he has. I mean, just look at that psychopath laugh at the slaughter of Ukrainian civilians in Mariupol. This guy, of course, is a psychopath. Of course, he's done some cooked stuff. Audio's good. Thank you, guys. Monchi, it's crazy. Who would have guessed before COVID world politics would get to this point? Maybe it was always this messed up, but after COVID, people started to actually pay attention. I don't know, man. What a crazy last year it's been. But I think studying the Putin regime and studying dictators like Xi Jinping, this is always, this is fundamentally what they are about. It's all about aggression. It's all about exporting domestic tensions abroad. So I think with hindsight, it's actually potentially not even that surprising. I mean, I honestly think both Xi Jinping and Putin have locked themselves on this path for a long time, and I think this should surely be a big wake up call to Xi Jinping in Taiwan. I mean, I made that tweet and I had a lot of Chinese Communist Party propagandists insulting me and attacking me because I made that tweet, saying that Xi Jinping should view this as a warning, but of course he should view this as a warning. I mean, he has modeled, in many ways, he's modeled his regime on Putin. Kevin Carrico has a very good article on that, actually. I love Kevin Carrico. Let me see if I can pull that article up. Putin and Xi. Putinism with Chinese characteristics. This was a very good article by Kevin Carrico. Come on, guys. Let's try to go through it. What's going on? It's interesting. Jeremy Barmay, I know, has some good ones as well. Xi Jinping, Putin. This is a very intellectual stream, guys. We're going to be going through a lot of information here. But what's his website again? Am I reading? Oh yeah, China Heritage, Xi Putin. For everyone who's joined the stream, thank you for joining. This is an article by Kevin Carrico, and it's actually a very good article. It shows how fundamentally symbiotic the Putin and Xi Jinping regimes are. Let's go through it. He wrote this in 2017. This man had a lot of foresight. This was 6 years ago now. So, since 2012, Xi Jinping consolidates more power than any Chinese leader since Deng Xiaoping. Analyses of the Cult often make comparisons to Mao Zedong. But Kevin argues that you should see Xi Jinping modeling his regime on Putin. So, during a meeting between the two leaders in 2013, Xi tells Putin, I feel that our personalities are very similar. Not only are their personalities similar, but Xi's cult of personality and the propaganda around him is in fact largely modeled on Putin with very little original content of its own. This is Kevin Krieger guy. He's an expert in Chinese studies, a professor at Monash University. He's making some good points here. If this has implications for popular nationalism in China today, the Putin-style bravado of the Chinese surveillance state, let's see this. So, nationalism has been the cornerstone of state legitimacy in China since 1989, projecting simmering frustrations outwards. This is what people don't understand. I mean, after Tiananmen Square, there was a kind of pact where the elites decided that they would move away from some aspects of Marxist-Leninism towards founding their regime's legitimacy on nationalism. This is what we're seeing. And so, although operationalized to rescue the party state's reputation after Tiananmen by representing the party as the people's protector, nationalism remains an emotionally charged and unpredictable ideology. And you should remember that, because there have been instances in modern PRC history, contemporary PRC history, where the CCP lost control of nationalist forces. We saw that particularly when there were clashes between China and Japan over the Senkaku Islands. There were massive protests organized by the Chinese Communist Party apparatchiks outside the Japanese embassies and consulates in China. And eventually they lost control of these protests. They became near riots. They were trying to basically lynch the Japanese diplomats, and the party state had to put them down with force. So, as Kevin Carrico makes a point, it is a very unpredictable ideology. These dictators, they unleash these forces of nationalism to try save their own bacon when they start to lose legitimacy at home. But it gets away from them. And that's ultimately what we're seeing with Putin and Prigozhin as well. It gets away from Putin. Now he's seeing his most existential challenge come from the right, the Russian fascist right. It's a really sad thing where the opposition in Russia is not so much democratic, it's not so much liberal, but in fact the main opposition is coming from the hardliners in the Russian state, the Prigozhins of the world. Wagner, is challenging the Russian state from the far right. So let's go through this with the border confrontations with India, construction of the military bases in the South China Sea, the ADIZ in the Senkakus, the aggressive pressure campaigns against South Korea and Taiwan. And as well, Xi Jinping has recently turned his sights on Okinawa. Okinawa Xi Jinping. It's actually a very interesting thing. Might be behind the paywall. But, actually, okay. So, this is something that we've seen recently as well. June 22nd, 2023. This is The Economist. When Xi Jinping strolls around the National Archives in Beijing earlier this month, seems like a routine tour. China's supreme leader commented on various items that piqued his interest, such as ancient scripts engraved on animal bone, an astronomical map from the Song Dynasty, but his remarks about a manuscript from the Ming Dynasty received the most attention. He described old ties between the Chinese province of Fujian, which he once ran, and the independent Ryukyu Kingdom, a collection of islands that were later annexed by Japan and turned into Okinawa Prefecture. The book, said a staffer, plays an important political role. Mr. Xi responded that, having served as a senior official in Fujian, he was aware of the deep history of the exchanges. And look, it might not seem like much, but the Chinese leadership do not do this stuff lightly. The Chinese government has never asserted a proper claim on the Ryukyu Islands, But for years, a collection of Chinese scholars, analysts, and military officials have questioned Japanese rule there, with some arguing that the island's inhabitants paid tribute to Chinese emperors long before they recognized Japan's authority. And of course, this comes back to probably the fact that America still has bases in Okinawa after the defeat of Imperial Japan in World War II. And so, maybe this is their version of, this is maybe the Chinese equivalent of the Russian propaganda narratives around NATO. Have to stop Ukraine from joining NATO, therefore have to invade Ukraine. And then equally, now Xi Jinping makes prominent comments about Okinawa, where there are big US bases, saying, this is potentially Chinese territory from time immemorial. So this is the stride and turn in Chinese domestic and foreign policy. And this is being made by Xi Jinping. From post-Soviet chaos to Putin's power. It's a good point he makes. Basically, Xi Jinping seeks to justify his rule by constantly referring back to the collapse of the Soviet Union, basically arguing that Gorbachev did not have the strength to hold the Union together. That's Xi Jinping's argument. His argument is that they should have used violence like China did in Tiananmen Square to put down protests. Not that this was... the Soviet Union probably could never have been saved. This is just the Xi Jinping propaganda narrative. But this is something that's always very heavily on Xi Jinping's mind. This is what he's always about. He's obsessed with the collapse of the Soviet Union. He's obsessed with the fall of Gorbachev. His so-called his obsession with Gorbachev's supposed weakness. And even though Gorbachev turned troops on protesters in the Baltic states, and he did massacre people, ask the Baltic states, ask the people of Eastern Europe about Gorbachev, a lot of them still call him a butcher. But just as, many people will understand Deng Xiaoping was a butcher. He slaughtered thousands of Chinese civilians in Tiananmen Square. But in the Putin and Xi Jinping worldview, the fatal moment, the disaster, was when Gorbachev failed to, hold the state together through the use of violence and through the use of repression. This is what Xi Jinping's obsessed with. And Putin's obsessed with it too. We all know his famous quote, the collapse of the Soviet Union was the greatest geopolitical catastrophe of the 20th century. This is his words. So, they're both obsessed with it. Both Xi and Putin are obsessed with the demise of the Soviet Union. They're obsessed with, color revolutions. They're obsessed with the supposed black hand of the CIA before everything. This is Kevin Kariko. He's making a very interesting point about how Xi Jinping is very close to Putin in many ways. So Putin came to power at a self-described decisive moment, promising to clean up Russia after the wild 1990s, battling corruption and oligarchs' control. This process enabled a rapid consolidation of power. While corruption was not eliminated, anyone who wanted to continue to have influence needed to pledge their allegiance to him. Xi Jinping also came to power at a self-declared decisive moment, promising to clean up the party and reinstate order. This process also enabled a rapid consolidation of power. While corruption still has not been eliminated, anyone who wants to have a political career in China now must vow allegiance to Xi. This was Kevin Kariko in 2017. A lot of foresight here, and it's interesting. Yeah, the commonalities he describes in the rise of both Putin and Xi. These two dictators are twin together. Many of the defining moments in Xi's cult of personality are in fact directly copied from Putin's. The real man women want to marry, the man of action who is also a man of the people, the leader loved by people of all ethnicities. Beyond these common representations, there are a jarring number of parallels between the rule of Putin and Xi. Vigilance against the imagined threat of orchestrated colour revolutions. Putin first weaponized such paranoia in what Robert Horvath has called preventative colour revolution, justifying a crackdown on media and NGOs. Xi's penchant for tough talk, modelled on Putinisms, accompanied by a newfound assertiveness in military affairs. And how could we forget Xi Jinping's quotation marks that those who try and split China will have their bones bashed bloody against a great wall of steel, have their skulls bashed bloody. So, he copies the Putin rhetoric, he copies the Putin, the Putin model of rhetorical aggression. And it's amazing, you still have some people who think, China's run by technocrats, it's not as crazy as Russia yet. But as Kevin Kariko argued, they are twinned. Xi Jinping looks to Putin as his model. And so, disaster for Xi Jinping A disaster for Putin is a beautiful thing for anyone who opposes Xi Jinping. A beautiful thing for anyone who opposes the dictatorship in China. That's why I'm so against the Russian dictatorship. Of course I am. Anyone who's against the Chinese Communist Party, they have to see that a disaster for Putin, a disaster for the Kremlin, is a beautiful thing for anyone who supports freedom and democracy in China. Anyone who supports the Tibetans, the Uyghurs, the Taiwanese, the Hong Kongers, anyone who wants to hold China back from invading Taiwan and, killing millions of people for nothing. Look at the Kevin Carrico descriptions of how close Xi and Putin really are. The penchant for the long speeches, love that, of course. Growing speculation, Xi will never name a successor and will stay in power for decades. Fuck, Kevin wrote this in 2017. He was right on the money. Promotion of a unique China path or a China solution against the West, parallel to the Russia path promoted by Putin. Although Xi is being presented to the Chinese people as the right man at the right time for China, in reality, Xi's leadership persona is largely derived from Putin's propaganda campaigns. Xi is a Shanzai Putin, a relatively faithful imitation with few unique characteristics. I love this article by Kevin Carrico. So, seeking to legitimize the continuation of Chinese Communist Party rule in a post-communist era, Chinese state media representations have manufactured demand for a Putin-like strongman leader. The cult of Xi responds to this demand, winning the unprecedentedly eager support of political factions as diverse as new leftists and far-right traditionalist nationalists. This is exactly what we see in Russia as well. You see the convergence of the far left and the far right, the red-brown axis, the disgusting red-brown axis, and that is something I'm so against. This is basically, the red-brown axis is basically my fundamental political enemy. The red-brown axis. Anyone part of the red-brown axis, fundamentally a political enemy of mine. These are the most disgusting people today. The people trying to forge common links between both Bolshevism and Leninism and also fascism. And it is such a disgusting ideology. It is so inimical, so fundamentally opposed to human dignity, humanity. It is such an anti-human ideology. This is why I'm so against the red-brown axis. You see that with the grey zone people, Max Blumenthal. You see this with the Glenn Greenwalds of the world. The people who are trying to forge those cooked links between the extremist left and the extremist right. And holy shit, I have to say, just the Ukraine war was such a wake-up call for me when it comes to the red-brown axis, when it comes to opposing the red-brown axis. There really is no conceivable way anyone on the left should ever work with these people. And yet there are people, like the Glenn Greenwalds of the world who do nothing but carry water for Bolsonaro, Trump, Putin, and it will be Xi Jinping as well. It will be Xi Jinping as well. So yeah, as Kevin Carrico argues, the fact that Xi models his rule on Putin, this is a fucking disaster for Xi. This is a disaster for Xi. It's like his protege is failing. It's like Hitler being chained to Mussolini in the war and having to bail out Italy after the disastrous invasion of Greece. Maybe it's like that. Russia has certainly settled into the junior partnership of this new fascist axis, and Putin is now certainly the junior partner. But this is such a fundamental threat to humanity and democracy. How's the audio going, guys? How's everything going? CCP thinks TSMC will work for them if they invade. I mean, that's just so cooked. Anyone who thinks TSMC will work for them if China invades is so cooked. That's why I hate that guy Elbridge Colby who goes, if China invades Taiwan, we have to get ready to blow up TSMC. We have to get ready to blow up the fabs. I mean, come on, this is not how semiconductors work. This is not how life works in the 21st century. TSMC would not be able to port its knowledge to CCP rule. It's not going to work like that. But people like Elbridge Colby, who's also arguing complete capitulation on Ukraine, he does not want to see a world where Ukraine wins. And ultimately, I think he also doesn't want to see a world where Taiwan wins. I think this guy is fundamentally straight up an old-time isolationist. He's an old-time isolationist, and he's just he's coping because his time is up. His ideology is dead, and he's trying to resurrect it. This unholy ghost. He's trying to resurrect this unholy ghost to try maybe get a job, maybe in a future Trump administration. But what a disaster, Elbridge Colby. Few people understand semiconductor manufacturing. I completely agree. Super base. Let's read, just reading through some of the comments right now. So what's the consensus? Did Wagner take an L, or did Prig get viable concession? look, I can't see how it can be I don't see how this is a win for Putin. So I'm just going to quickly get up, the people like Jackson Hinkle who somehow think this is all a huge win. It's not a fucking win at all. I mean, it's a disaster for them. I'm going to get this up 1 second. Hang on. Where is this stuff? Sorry, just getting up some of these copers, the Hinkle. If you just go to the Jackson Hinkle Twitter page right now, let's just go through some of the cope, because the coping is just spectacular right now. I hope one day we can talk about the truth of this war, Joe Rogan. Zahan's comments on your show have been continuously disproven, and his comments today were just laughable. I mean, where's the joke here, mate? Where's the joke? Prigozhin did attempt to overthrow the Kremlin. Putin was furious. He gave a speech denouncing the traitors who were trying to backstab the nation. Of course the implications for the Ukraine war are massive. But Jackson Hinkle, his coping is thinking, oh, no, everything's in control. No, nothing's in control right now. Confirming my prediction from yesterday. This guy's a complete joke. Kremlin says other Wagner fighters who took part in the march, in the March of Justice, will not be prosecuted. Does anyone really believe this right now? I mean, Prigozhin going to Belarus is like the Dalai Lama taking refuge from the CCP in Hong Kong. I mean, Belarus is a vassal state of Putin. It's a vassal state of the Kremlin. I mean, as if Prigozhin is safe in Belarus. So this is why I don't think that there has been a real solution right now. This is why I don't think that there's been any kind of accommodation between Prigozhin and Putin. I think Prigozhin did blink. See, when I went to bed at 3 a.m. Australian time, I thought there's a big possibility where I wake up and there has been street fighting in Moscow. I thought that when I woke up, I might see street fighting in Moscow. And so when I woke up, I immediately jumped for my phone to try read the news. And I read the news and it says, Prigozhin will head to Belarus after a negotiated settlement. I was quite shocked. I have to admit, I was quite shocked. Everything over the past 24 hours has been shocking. Don't let, the Jackson Hinkles, the Ian Malchung of the world, lie to you and say, we understood what was happening the entire time. These guys had no idea. No one really had any idea what was going on. But it was obviously, very clearly, bad for Putin. Anyone with eyes could see this. But, I mean, these guys, everything's under control. We predicted this. Just the cope is unbelievable. Everyone became a Russian foreign policy expert real quick today. Then they were all proven wrong. Who's been proven wrong? Putin had Wagner come within 200 kilometers of the Moscow city gates. Who's been fucking proven wrong? Is this a victory for Putin? They're all crowing as though it's a victory for Putin. Where's the victory? How can this be victory? It's a disaster. Where's the victory? If this is victory, tell me what defeat looks like, man. Tell me what defeat looks like if this is victory. Holy shit. I mean, for a time yesterday, the Russian oligarchs were fleeing Moscow in unmarked private jets. I'm pretty sure Putin did leave the city. Putin left Moscow probably for St. Petersburg or another residence. Because we saw via the online air trackers, like Russian presidential planes were going up into the air. I mean, it was unbelievably obvious what was happening. You looked at, Putin says, I'm going to address the nation, and then he's late by an hour, and the Russian TV anchors are all in confusion and don't know what to talk about, and they're going to TV ad breaks that go for 20 minutes. Like, it was a disaster. And Putin eventually comes out and fronts the nation, and he says, Prigozhin's a Nazi, and this is a stab in the back against the Russian people and the Russian soldiers. How can this be anything other than a disaster for Putin? The aura of untouchability has been shattered. The aura of state competence has been shattered. The divisions this has exposed, they will just simply widen after this. Do you think it's over? It's not over. Prigozhin maybe goes to Belarus, but look at how the citizens of Rostov were greeting him. Look at how they waved goodbye to him. They were treating the Wagner soldiers like heroes. I mean, a great tweet by the Georgian Legion. It was so depressing. I mean, the thing that finally brings Russian protesters into the streets is, a battle between opposing factions of the Russian military apparatus who are competing to see who can be more murderous in Ukraine, more genocidal in Ukraine. There's no democratic opposition in Russia. NAFO's real quiet right now, man. So true, Jackson. What a fucking success. Putin almost pissed himself. Solovyov almost pissed himself. He posts videos in the car fleeing. Russian oligarchs flee en masse. NAFO's real quiet right now. Yeah, holy shit. Holy shit. Can you guys just imagine? Flip the situation. Imagine just a reverse of the situation for now. Imagine, a section of the Ukrainian military goes rogue, marches on Kiev. They come 200 kilometers before they get within 200 kilometers of the gates of Kiev after downing multiple Ukrainian army helicopters, after firing on Ukrainian military, after killing dozens of Ukrainian soldiers, and then there's a negotiated settlement. Are you fucking kidding? Jackson would be going, it's over, we've won, oh my god, the Nazis are in disarray. This would be the Jackson Hinkles and the Inmals Chongs of the world. They would be, oh my god, they would be crawling from the rooftops, they'd be popping champagne bottles, they would be laughing their asses off. But when Russia suffers a military coup and Wagner comes within 200 kilometers of the Moscow city gates after killing dozens of Russian soldiers, then Putin's in control. Putin's stronger than ever. Russia's stronger than ever. The Russian nation continues to go from strength to strength. The propaganda is incredible. These people don't exist in the same reality as you and I. They don't exist in the same dimension as you and I. These people live fundamentally in an alternate reality where I guess their paychecks depend upon lying. Their paychecks depend upon telling everybody lies and believing lies. But anybody with a brain can see this because it's as simple as this. Flip the situation. Imagine a massive segment of the Ukrainian military goes rogue, marches on the capital with demands to, sack top members of the Ukrainian defense. They have demands to change the presidency. They're killing Ukrainian troops. They come to within 200 kilometers of Kiev after killing dozens. Oh my god, Jackson would be saying, we need negotiated settlements now. It's over. Come on, stop sending arms now. It's over. This would be Jackson Hinkle. This would be in Mars Chong. Oh my god. I mean, I think they'd fucking have an aneurysm. They'd be so happy. I mean, like, Ian Miles Chong would probably be fucking jacking off to that. The creepy guy. I mean, holy shit, like, Ian Miles Chong would be, like, retiring to his lair in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur. Probably this very sweaty, creepy apartment. This sweaty, disgusting man with a horrible, horrible look on his face. And he'd just be stroking one out to the thought that, oh my god, there's a coup against Zelensky. The Ukrainian military's turning on Zelensky. The Ukrainian military's turning on the NATO elite, blah blah blah. They would fucking froth it. They'd froth it. I think, like, in Mars Chong, the excitement would probably give him a heart attack. And yet Wagner marches on Moscow and, don't worry guys, Putin has it all under control. Don't worry guys. Oh, Putin is stronger than ever. Russia's stronger than ever. I told you we were winning. Like, oh, guys, it's another feint. It's another military feint. How fucking stupid can you get? These people are fundamentally fucking stupid. I mean, that's just Ian Miles Chong. Remember his shit yesterday when he was going... He was actually crying. Ian Miles Chong was on the verge of tears and he was going, please, he was actually crying. He's going, please, Russia needs to win to defeat the woke mind virus. Please. And he's crying, and he's fucking crying. There are tears streaming down his sweaty cheeks. And for him, this was a disaster of disasters. This was for him, the worst thing that could happen on earth. Because suddenly, Bud Light will be in every single bar in Moscow. If we don't stop this, guys, if we don't stop this. I mean, just, oh my god, I mean, it's funny. I have to say it's funny. It's funny just how much these people lie. It's funny how deceitful they are. I mean, it's fundamentally amazing how these people have so little soul, how they have nothing inside of them. They're just automaton. They're robots. They're fucking robots. Ian Miles Chong, insert the new line of the day into his head and he'll just start parroting the line, the propaganda line. Like, beep, 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 boop, boop. Oh no, fuck, Zelensky's trans, oh my god, Zelensky has fake tits. Guys, did you know this? Like, this is just the Ian Miles Chong the baby grade 4 level propaganda that, you know, they just beam this shit into his brain and it just beep boop comes out and just, oh my god, Zelensky's trans. Like, this is like the type of shit that Ian Miles Chong and the Russian propagandist and Jackson Hinkler are pumping out. And when it looked yesterday like Putin was on the ropes. Like, you actually had Ian Miles Chong crying. He was going, please guys, you don't understand. You know, the implications, the woke mind virus is going to go into all of our homes. You know, Ian Miles Chong is just crying. He's just crying. This guy who looks so disgusting in so many different ways. And, my God, I mean, just the cope is unimaginable. But now they're going, fucking NAFO, you guys thought that we were losing. No, we're winning. You know, like, don't you guys understand? It was just another military feint by Putin, master strategist, blah, blah, blah. Like, holy shit, guys. These guys, they're not the sharpest tools in the shed. They're not smart. They're fucking dumb. These are the Russian propagandists for you. They're fucking stupid. They are fucking stupid. Ian Miles Chong, I don't even know how he gets out of the bed in the morning, how he makes food for himself, how he puts on clothing, how he can even breathe. Like, maybe chemical signals send from his brain to tell him to, you know, move limbs and stuff. It's just robotic. It's just robotic. This man has no soul. You know, it's just, I don't know, the Kremlin just beams shit into his brain and just, Ian, my son, comment on Twitter. Tell them that Zelensky is trans. And then beep boop, beep boop, beep boop. Twitter. Don't you realize Hunter Biden? Like, this is what we're dealing with, guys. Seriously, some of the stupidest people in the world. How wrong they were. Exactly, Robert. We actually need a moment to gloat, guys. We need a moment to gloat. Just to really emphasize here how fucking wrong all these people were. How wrong these people were. They were just fucking wrong. They were just so wrong. You know, Kim.com was coping yesterday going like, we took out 5 Patriot batteries! Like, as Wagner marched on the Kremlin. Like, Wagner's shooting down Russian helicopters. And Kim.com, you know, this lard monster goes, we've just taken 15 Patriot batteries out, guys. Please. Like, holy fuck. And he's also got the Germanic accent, so he sounds like fucking Hitler as well. Like, yes, we just took out 15 Patriot batteries or whatever. Just, and then Ian's like, yes. Zelensky's got fake tits. Like, this was their space yesterday, guys. That was their Twitter space. It was unbelievable. Like, the coping, the stupidity, the nonsensical nature of it all. I made a comment, and I think I was obviously right here. They basically had Ian Miles Chong effectively going, you know, there's ghosts in my teeth. Ukraine, Zelensky have put ghosts in my teeth. You have to stop it. You have to stop this. The woke mind virus. No, the woke mind virus. Just, oh no, fuck, Bud Light. Like, these guys, like, what do they fucking believe in? Who cares? Bud Light. Holy shit. Oh my god, guys. Wagner's woke. Prigozhin's woke. Wagner PMC are woke. Guys, they're going to hold drag queen story time in the Kremlin. Guys, you know, they're going to have Sam Smith singing Body Shop in the Kremlin. Guys, you don't understand the implications here. You know, if Wagner wins, if Putin falls, the Western civilization falls. You know, women's sports will never be the same, guys. Women's sports will never be the same. If Putin falls to Prigozhin in a far-right Russian fascist coup, oh my god, the woke mind virus, we won't be able to stop it, guys. We won't be able to stop it. Pretty soon, they will force every single child on Earth to be trans. Like, this is the Ian Miles Chong. I don't even know. Like, what? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. This guy just, I don't even know. Like, he's fucking Malaysian. What? Where did this shit come from? How does he believe in this? I don't know. Who put this shit in his brain? I think it's beamed in, probably. Let's see. There were units of the Russian army that pledged their allegiance to Prigozhin yesterday. I wonder how they're doing. Yeah, how are they fucking doing? Let's all pretend that this is normal. Let's all pretend this is going well for Putin. The Russian military didn't fire on Wagner. The Russian fighter jets would not fire on Wagner. Putin had to strike the deal. Putin had to strike a deal after denouncing Prigozhin as a Nazi. Putin had to strike a deal begging him to put his troops down, begging him to stand down. one of the funniest moments yesterday was when Jackson Hinkle was tweeting. He was just literally retweeting word for word Russian government communication saying, "Please, Wagner, stand down. You're being deceived by your leaders." Like, he didn't even care. Early in the day, he goes, "I'm American. I don't have a dog in this fight." And then within a couple of hours, he's literally just reposting the Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs going, "Please, Wagner, stand down. You don't have a dog in this fight. Please, Wagner, stand down. You're being deceived by Prigozhin. Please, think of the glorious Russian nation. The Russian nation's soul is at stake." This is what Jackson Hinkle was tweeting out like 2 hours after going, "Look, I'm American. I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm just an objective analyst." And then 2 hours later, "Please, Wagner, stand down. The soul of immortal Rus is at stake." Holy shit, guys! Like, just amazing cope. Just we need to just really. We have to remember this moment. Remember this moment, please, guys. Please remember this moment, because, oh my God, it's amazing. This is a moment we'll never forget. Like, they were so wrong. They were so wrong in every single way. They were so wrong in every single way. We were seeing people's worldview disintegrate around them in real time. It was amazing. It was actually just amazing. Let me get back to Twitter. Let's go through some of Jackson's tweets. Oh yes, PMC Wagner is preparing to leave Rostov. Well done, comrades. Oh yeah, so true. Dylan Burns. Get a bad photo of Dylan Burns. Therefore, Putin's winning. This one was actually funny. I have to admit, this one was funny. You know, meme me all you want. I actually have a sense of humor with myself. But I'm not the one losing here, Jackson. You took down your fucking Wagner merchandise store because you were embarrassed. You were fucking embarrassed. You took down your Wagner merchandise store. So don't tell me that I'm the one who lost. I'm the one who's embarrassed. I feel no embarrassment whatsoever. I'm feeling, on the contrary, triumphant, because once again, liberal democracy has shown itself as the best form of governance there is, because another dictatorship has come within seconds of blowing itself up. Of course I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great, Jackson. How are you feeling? Fucking moron. I actually told Jackson this morning I'm happy to debate him anytime. I'm happy to stream live with him. No response. It's a civil war. Laugh. The timing was beautiful. Cooler heads make better analysis. Declaims that, like, Jackson, you had no cool head. You were fucking melting down, going, Wagner, stand down. Please protect the immortal soul of Rus. Holy fuck, man. What a loser. What a fucking loser. I think he was honestly fucking panicking because they were going to take his Russian mail order bride. Let's just fucking be real here. Come on. Like, this guy, Kremlin gives him a bride, this, fake girlfriend. He's probably sharing her with many oligarchs. And he's just fucking, he's scared. He doesn't want to lose that. So, good on him. Of course he's going to panic. Many men in his situation would. Yeah, and he's going, "Please stop the march for justice. It's militarily incompetent." Just the words of a guy who doesn't have a dog in the fight, guys. Just the words of a normal guy who's an American, doesn't support Russia. Not at all, guys. Come on. Oh yeah, and then when he was trying to present himself as this objective, fair-minded analyst, Ukraine supporters don't understand that Prigozhin, if Prigozhin gets his way, it will be worse. We don't care, motherfucker. We don't care. It can't get worse. Ukrainian civilians are being tortured to death every single day. They're being killed every single day. We don't care. Like, what? The world's an angry place. You think this is going to add a little more anger? The world is as crazy. The world is an angry place. The world's a crazy place. You think this is going to cause some more anger, Jackson? The world's as crazy as it gets. Like, come on. I don't know. Look, obviously I fucking hate Wagner. They're evil, they're terrorists, they're fascists. I just wanted Wagner and the Russian regulars and the Russian military to tear strips off each other. It's as simple as that. I'm a simple man with simple desires. I want to see fascists kill each other. It's as simple as that. I mean, it's not that complex. It's not that difficult to understand. I like democracy. I don't like tyranny. I hate tyranny, in fact. So if two fascist entities such as ISIS and Al Qaeda want to tear strips of one another and kill each other, fucking beautiful. I'm supporting casualties. I'm supporting I will be there to support that. You know, don't come into your house. I gotta play this 1 second. Where's the guy who was like the American basketball commentator? Hang on. Just gonna play some of the American basketball commentator stuff. I think it's very, very important. Putin needs to reload his saved game, guys. Yes, of course. So true. So, just for context, I fucking hate Prigozhin. I fucking hate Wagner. It will be great when they're all disbanded and eventually liquidated. Wagner is a terrorist Nazi force. I want Wagner to be destroyed. But yesterday, for a brief few hours where we were infinite, where they were tearing strips off the Russian military, of course, we're not on the side of Prigozhin, we're not on the side of Russia, we're not on the side of Putin, we're on the side of being pro-casualties. We just want to see Wagner and Putin and the Putin forces just destroy each other. So, you know, this was us yesterday. You know, Prigozhin, you know, Mike Pence. It's still possible if Mike Pence has the courage. Come on, Prigozhin, if you have the courage.
Listen to everybody. Nobody believes in you. What are you prepared to do about it? Don't let no one come into your house. Take your meal. Do what you need to do today. I'm not nervous. I'm just telling you.
So, there you have it. We're against Prigozhin, but Prigozhin, you really got to stand for this, man. Come on. You know, your immortal dignity is at stake. The dignity of the Russian male, the dignity of the the Russian Wagner forces. Come on, go back, attack Putin. Come on, we're just on the side of as many casualties as possible between Wagner and Putin, guys. Come on, it's just pretty simple. If you're against dictatorship, that's what we want. Because you know, at that point, then it's going to support Ukraine because. You know, if only Wagner had stayed around in Rostov for a little bit longer, because a lot of Russian ammunition and supplies were going through Rostov, could have really led to a situation where the Ukrainians broke through at the front. I mean, the disarray. I mean, all the Russian forces are in Ukraine. So if only Wagner had kept going for a little bit longer. Borat's dispute on YouTube is how the mutiny was resolved. Of course. Monchi, gonna hit that. Hey, if you're open, I'd love to talk to you about Panamanian politics. I think you might find it interesting. Respect for speaking up, Drew. Thank you, Monchi. I actually don't know much about Panamanian politics, but I'm someone who's interested in political stuff all around the world. I'm really fascinated in global politics, so that'd be really interesting. Just DM me on Twitter, man. I've got the open DMs now. It makes it a lot easier, so I can talk with people all around. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. I know I have to say. You know, we don't have that many viewers. We would like some more viewers. That's okay though. I mean, every streamer had to start somewhere. I can't be fooling myself and pretending I'm going to start out with, you know, Destiny levels of viewers, Vorsh levels of viewers, Hasanabi levels of viewers. It'd be nice, but not for now. You know, this is only my second ever stream. 2 days in consecutive streaming now. The audio is a lot nicer because I got this beautiful little Rode mic. Thank you for the guys who donated. You know, the goal is to basically create like a new independent sort of media channel, and anti-Jackson Hinkle The Dive. I mean, imagine if Jackson Hinkle's The Dive existed, but it was pro-democracy and anti-totalitarian. There you have it. Or even, you know, just Hasanabi, but without the cringe, you know, because sometimes I like Hasanabi, but sometimes he's quite cringe on Ukraine, I have to say. Sometimes as well, and he was really bad on Tibet. I mean, this guy, I think he just always wants credibility with the left, the far left, and then these people, you know, they have this obsessive hatred of America, NATO, etc., and sometimes they have deceived Hasanabi. That's okay. I think if I talked to Hasanabi, things would be a lot better, but look, as I say, we're growing the streaming platform. We're starting off. You know, at first, we're not going to have that many viewers, but over time, it will grow. It will grow, and we're okay with that. We're okay. My YouTube only has 5,280 subscribers right now. I've got about 65,000 on Twitter. So, guys, if you follow me on Twitter, please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube. go and have a look at my YouTube, because I know I'm mostly active on Twitter, but I really want to start doing a lot more stuff on YouTube, because that's where I think this stuff is at. You can reach a lot more people, I think, through YouTube. And I also want to make this a bit more sustainable for myself, because unfortunately, I do so much work sometimes. Even just yesterday, I spent 18 hours following the coup, and people might think that's crazy. Look, I get obsessive about this stuff. I'm really interested in world politics. I'm really interested in, fighting against dictatorship. Yesterday, for me, was one of the most historic days that I'll probably see in my lifetime. So, of course, I'm going to be engaged. Of course, I'm going to be watching it. But yeah, I do a lot of work. And, the Jackson Hinkles of the world and the Russian propagandists and the CCP propagandists, they like to mock me, say, Drew doesn't have a real job, etc. It's okay. We're going to build up a bit of an independent media platform, do some nice journalism, some nice research into CCP atrocities, Russian atrocities, help mobilize world opinion against the Russian and Chinese Communist Party dictatorships. This is my goal. This is what I want to devote my life to. So, if this is my vision, and if you share that vision, please consider helping me grow my YouTube. Please consider helping me grow my streaming. Give me tips, because I know a lot of you guys watch streaming a lot more than I do, because I never really watched a lot of streaming before, so I'm quite new to this. If you guys have tips, please share some tips with me, because we will just keep building this stuff up. I just want to go through some of the funny tweets. Firstly, before I get into anything funny, actually, before I go back to the memes, I just want to quickly show people my Twitter thread yesterday. Gee, it's actually pretty crazy. 5 million views. That was pretty amazing. I was pretty shocked by that. See, even as much as... Look, Twitter can be pretty annoying under Elon Musk at times, but even for all its faults, I'm very thankful to Twitter for allowing me to get a voice out to the world, because, man, back in the old days, someone like me couldn't exist. Just a young guy who believes in a cause and, wants to share his beliefs with as many people as possible. Back in the old days, I would have had to, be attached to a media organization, would have had to work for someone else. I'm so independent minded. I can't work for someone else. So look, I wanna build my own thing, and very lucky that Twitter exists so that I can do that. But I just compiled together this very short thread, and to be honest, I did this in only like a short amount of time, because I had previously actually researched Wagner. I'd previously researched this stuff. Hang on, we've got a couple people leaving, guys, so I might quickly just share the link again. As I said, we would like it to have some more viewers, but it's okay. We're growing, and everyone's got to start somewhere. I'm going to be a bit humble about it. Okay, hang on. I'm just going to quickly share the stream again, guys. Just going to quickly share the stream, guys. Thank you to the people who have stayed so far. Hang on one second. Just gonna share out the link a little bit. And yeah, please, guys, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, as I've said already, and I'm being humble about it, the channel's very small right now, but we want to build it up. And there's a good chance here, because I'm very lucky that I've got a bit of a following on Twitter that I've built up over the past couple of years, and it's just about sort of building it up on YouTube as well. And thank you to the people who are tuning in. Yeah, basically, my long-term goal is really to build up a sort of YouTube presence, live stream a lot more. That's the goal, because you can have so much more influence that way, and I want to try and keep promoting the causes I believe in. I really believe in this stuff. Like, for all the people who mock me and attack me, say Drew does this for money or whatever, I have no money, man. And, people that say Drew does this for fame, there are easier ways to get fame than suffering 1 billion death threats a day, as I often do, I do this because I believe in it, because I love it. I believe in advocating for democracy and freedom. I'm so against dictatorship. I'm so against the red-brown axis. It's pretty obvious, anyone who knows me, anyone who's followed my work for a long time. So that's why I'm really keen on building up my stream, building up my YouTube as an independent platform. So, because one of the problems was I was always having to go through the establishment media to get my message out, heard to people. It's really difficult. It's really difficult because sometimes the establishment media can turn on you. It's amazing. Like, Australian media often would say, Drew's a pest, Drew's this, Drew's that, going against me. So I start up my own streams. I start up my own Twitter. I build up my own media presence so that we don't have to go through other people. One second, guys. Bit of a smaller stream than yesterday. Obviously, yesterday was a crazy event. But yeah. Bit of a small stream today. That's okay, guys. I've just basically got to start doing this a lot more regularly so that I get the hang of it. And if we have a couple days where, unfortunately, we only have a couple people watching concurrently, that's okay. It's gonna grow over time. I'm just sharing out the link to some more people. Oh my god, some of the fucking memes are just amazing. I'm just gonna share some memes quickly. Holy shit, I like this one. Hang on, this one. They've got Snake from Snake from MGS, Metal Gear Solid. Can you guys see that? Hang on, I'm just sharing this. Yeah, guys, tell me, is the audio still going good? Is everything going still good? Just gotta make sure everything's going. Metal Gear Solid. Yeah. Oh my god. I mean, some of the memes are just amazing. Just hang on, guys. Let me know in the chat. Is my screen frozen? Cause let me know, guys. Yeah, guys, tell me if everything's fine. Because I can't seem to... Sorry, guys. I am a bit of a boom with technology. I need someone sometimes to help me with this stuff. I don't know. Is this working for people? Audio's good. Greetings from India. Thank you for joining, man. It's actually pretty interesting. We had someone from Panama watching before. I think we've had some Ukrainians. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. I mean, sometimes the reach is amazing. You need to get super chats, sound effects, and thanks, like the whatever podcast, different ways to cash in. Does anyone actually know how to fucking do that? Because I don't really know how to do that, to be honest. Audio is what's... Yeah. I'm not that well briefed with that sort of thing. Yeah, just let me know like how to actually get that stuff done, because future streams I can maybe do the super chat stuff and sound effects and all that sort of thing. Seems to be working. Simeon can help, of course. Yeah, of course. We'll have a collaboration with Simeon Boykov, the genius man himself. Always good. Yeah, guys. Let me know what Russian propagandists do you think we should go through at the moment, because we've spent a lot of time on Jackson Hinkle right now. Spent maybe too much time on Jackson Hinkle as well. Who should I be looking at right now? Who's been the most pathetic over the past 24 hours? Because there have been some funny fuckers. Hang on. YouTube doesn't allow super chats and odds. Really? Why is that? That would be good. I mean, super chats is you can... Is it people donate a little bit of money to ask a question or something like that? Yeah, as you guys know, I'm not that well versed with this stuff, but look, that'd be cool if I could do it. I just want to quickly go through some of the stuff. So I was just going to say, with this Wagner thread I made, I'm Yeah, still surprised how much traction it got. 5.2 million views. I was basically just researching them as part of my upcoming YouTube video on Simeon Boykov, because he's a big supporter of Wagner, up until yesterday, I guess. And I was just stunned by how many atrocities they've committed all across the world. So, here was the mass grave where they buried hundreds of civilians in a village outside Mali. You have the market area here. They had captive holding areas in a dry riverbed. And then they buried hundreds in mass graves. They just straight up executed all these unarmed men, hundreds of unarmed men. And one resident told Human Rights Watch they counted 241 men that were either already buried or that he helped bury in common graves. Another person said that about 40 more bodies were buried on or around April 2nd. So at the very least, there were hundreds murdered, possibly up to 500 civilians massacred in a Malian village. And it's just, one of the really sad things is you still get a lot of people in South Africa and some other African countries who are quite sympathetic to Russia and think, Russia is fighting for the global south or whatever. But damn, nothing could be further from the truth. I mean, just look at the atrocities that the Wagner forces have committed across multiple African states. It is so sad. It's so sad. I mean, they are brutalizing members of the global south. They're brutalizing, African civilians. But a lot of these South African Kremlin propagandists, they don't give a fuck. They just don't care. It's actually a form of racism on their part too. The Agbardo massacre, at least 65 civilians murdered, including women and children. Wagner shot into crowds indiscriminately and burned down at least a dozen houses. January 16, 17, 2022. One thing I forgot to mention, the Mali massacre, March 27, 2022 to March 31st, 2022. This is after the Ukraine invasion. This is happening while Wagner also carries out atrocities in Ukraine. Hundreds injured, 65 deaths at the very least. Another one, the Bongboto massacre, Central African Republic. July 21st, 2021, Wagner fighters summarily execute at least 13 unarmed male civilians, shooting them in the head before dumping them in the road. Wagner war crimes in Syria. So, as some people may no doubt already be aware, Wagner has this disgusting symbol, the sledgehammer. And where does this symbol come from? So Wagner used the sledgehammer. 4 Wagner contractors used the sledgehammer to torture a Syrian army deserter to death in 2017. So they filmed this all, spread it across WhatsApp. They crushed his legs, they crushed his arms, his hands with a sledgehammer before, I think, smashing in his skull with the sledgehammer. They then beheaded his lifeless body, cut off his arms, lit the torso on fire and strung it up, and then posed with the burning body. This is just demonic. This is fucking satanic. Oh my god, Ian Miles Chong, focuses on the satanic threat of Sam Smith singing Body Shop. Like, Daddy don't know that Daddy's getting hot in the body shop. Like, this is what Ian Miles Chong thinks is like the satanic plot. Meanwhile, Wagner is just stringing up headless bodies in the Syrian desert and just burning these bodies and just like posing in front of it. And Ian Miles Chong is going like, good on you fucking Russians, stop the woke mind virus. Like, holy fuck. So, obviously, just disgusting. I would never show the video, but there are some screen captures. This was one of the guys who was posing with it. They sent a sledgehammer with fake blood on it to the EU Parliament. Prigozhin did that to try and intimidate people, I guess. It's fucking ridiculous, shameful, embarrassing. I mean, just the barbarism of the modern Russian state is so uncivilized, just torturing people to death with sledgehammers and beheading lifeless corpses and burning them alive. Like, it is just medieval, barbaric, ISIS-like atrocities. It is just disgusting, satanic, really. There's a Russian MP posing with another Wagner sledgehammer. Just disgusting. I mean, these people have no soul. And these are the people who are supposedly leading, the vanguard fight to protect Orthodox Christian values against the satanic Western elite. But of course, that's just code for hating gay people, because they're not Christian whatsoever. Russia's not a trad society by any means. Very low church attendance rates. It's got, massive problems with HIV infection, massive problems. I mean, just like, this is a society with incredibly disastrous and dysfunctional social issues. A lot of child sex trafficking occurs in Russia. A lot of human trafficking occurs in Russia, but they project all their social problems onto Ukraine. They claim Ukraine is, the number one hub for the adrenochrome biolabs or whatever. Just insanity. And I mean, Russian society, all these deeply entrenched and horrific social problems, and yet it's all projected onto Ukraine. And these are the guys who are supposedly leading the Christian revival, the fight to protect family values against the degenerate Globo Homo Empire, whatever. The same people who just behead prisoners with fucking blunt knives and crush their arms and legs with sledgehammers and film the video and laugh and joke in front of headless bodies that are burning. Just fucking actually satanic. The actual people who are satanic, Irma's Chong and all the far-right fascists, they're like, good on you guys. Because these guys don't care about Christianity. They don't care about, Christian principles such as concern for the weak, love for the vulnerable, love for human dignity. They don't fucking care. They just use Christianity as a sledgehammer to attack gay people, to prosecute their reactionary cultural politics. This is what Christianity is to them. They don't have any spirituality whatsoever. Do you fucking believe Putin, has a Christian bone in his body? Like, these people are disgusting. These people are all disgusting. They're corrupt. They steal from the Russian people. They commit horrible atrocities. They're degenerate in so many different ways. Just literally constructing a hellish, satanic society that is just beset with, devilish social problems where ordinary people are crushed beneath the boots of a brutally corrupt elite, but then they just go, oh, but we have to stop the biolabs in Ukraine. Just all projection. And the same guys who carry out atrocities, these are the ones who are going to save Christianity from the devilish homosexual West or something, or whatever their insane propaganda narrative is. So this was the Syrian deserter's name. His name was Hamadi Buta. Wagner fighters posed with his body after beheading him, lighting him on fire. They sent the video around on WhatsApp. The video was eventually sent to Hamadi's family. This is the man they beheaded, strung his lifeless body up. They posed with the body, and they're happy about it. They're proud of it. They share the videos. The sledgehammer has become the symbol of Wagner. They love it. They fucking love it. They love to present themselves as animals, as inhuman. They want to present themselves as barbaric, savage, bloodthirsty monsters to strike fear into their enemies. It's Genghis Khan type shit. It is just so fundamentally barbaric, brutal, savage, so contrary to the principles of civilization. But these are the guys who are going to save Western civilization from Globo Home or whatever, guys. This is their narrative. They continue the sledgehammer in Ukraine. They film themselves executing a convicted Russian murderer, Wagner fighter Yevgeny Nuznin. Again, they film it and share it everywhere. Prigozhin says this is his punishment for treachery. They've always got an excuse. And this was probably the most sickening shit I've ever seen. When I saw this video, I couldn't sleep. I can't understand, right? I actually can't understand sometimes, right? Because I have a soul, I have a heart. So when I watch an ex-Wagner fighter tell somebody with a haunted look in his eyes that he shot a screaming 5-year-old girl in the head in Ukraine on the orders of Prigozhin and Wagner commanders, when I view that, I am sickened, as any normal human being with a heart would be. But people like Jackson Hinkle, they don't care, they laugh. They actually laugh at the atrocities that are being committed. So this is the type of reason why I support the complete defeat of the Russian military in Ukraine. Because look at how barbaric, disgusting, and just evil this shit is. Watch the video. This ex-Wagner fighter recounts shooting a 5-year-old girl in the head who's screaming before him. He's haunted. He's this abomination. And Prigozhin gave the orders. And this is what people like Ian Miles Chong and Jackson Hinkle laugh about, because apparently little girls in Ukraine need to be executed, summarily executed with a bullet to the brain, in order to stop Bud Light from, the trans agenda or something. Basements filled of elderly Ukrainians, women and children in Bakhmut have to be completely liquidated. Innocent people have to be murdered in massacres. So Ian Miles Chong can own Sam Smith or something like that. You know, this is their level of selfishness, evil, cruelty. They don't care that innocent people are dying. They don't care that Russia is carrying out demonic war crimes. They don't care because it's all just the domestic culture wars for them. It's all the domestic culture wars. As long as Ian Miles Chong can just tell everybody, you know, we're stopping the woke mind virus, everybody. Apparently, the little Ukrainian girls are going to have to continue to be shot in the head and executed, so that Ian can own lefties online. Ian can own, the woke mind virus agenda. How sick can these people be? How inhuman can they be? I don't know. Hang on, I can't, dude.
Okay, I'm going.
Okay, see ya.
You get it right?
Yep, see ya. I'll probably wrap up the stream soon, guys. I know we haven't had a big viewership today, but look, it's okay. We're building this stuff up slowly. But yeah, just to summarize that point, I mean, how evil can you be? Ian Miles Chong, he's crying on a Twitter space saying Russia needs to win to stop the woke mind virus from winning. And meanwhile, his ex-Wagner fighters testifying to shooting a screaming 5-year-old girl in the head. And what this is what Ian Miles Chong is happy to trade off. This is the sacrifice he's willing to make, so that transgender people and gay people online will go back into the closet or something. This is the sacrifice he wants. You know, just insanity. It's just fucking insane. Like, anyone knows with a brain that this is just insane. This is insanity. This is Hitler in the bunker type mentality. That what? Ukrainian civilians have to be murdered. Children have to be murdered, so that Russia can stop the woke from winning in the American culture wars. It's crystal meth type thinking. These guys are fucking cooked in the head. I can't understand it. It actually makes me so angry. If you want to understand why I do this, it's because it makes me fucking furious. Because how sick can you fucking be? How sick can you be? Ian Miles Chong, we've got to stop the woke mind virus. And the sacrifice I'm willing to make as part of that is the murder of Ukrainian children. Like, these people are fucking unhinged. These people are so unhinged. And if they ever get anywhere near power, it will be a bloodbath. It will be a fucking bloodbath. Because just watch how they've acted over the past 12 months. Past 16 months, since the invasion of Ukraine. Watch how these people have acted. It's just atrocity, defense. It's just the defense of one atrocity after another. You know, going further and further and further to the point where, Ukrainian 5-year-olds have to be shot in their head so that they don't have to admit they've lost in the American culture wars. Fucking evil. No soul. Disgusting. Ian Miles Chong is a disgusting fucking loser. And holy shit. I mean, he should just be haunted for the rest of his life. That would be the only thing that would even come close to, being fair here. For 16 months, he champions the death, the murder, the slaughter of innocents in Ukraine, just as part of domestic American culture war shit. He's not even fucking American. He's Malaysian. What the fuck? Like what? I have to stop drag queen story time in San Francisco, so Ukrainians need to be shot in the head. By the way, I live in Kuala Lumpur. Like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? Just, what are you doing? Holy shit. I mean, oh my god. These people are sick. We're dealing with sick people. I'm not going to pretend I'm some kind of neutral observer. I'm not going to pretend that, I'm just a cool-minded analyst. No, when I see people defending these atrocities, these crimes against humanity, they're so evil that they strike out against the heart of any human being on earth who actually has a heart and a conscience. Of course I'm going to fight hard against these people. That's what I'm doing. This is why I do it. Fuck Ian Miles Chong. Fuck Michael Tracy. Fuck Jackson Hinkle. These people are scum. Scum of the earth. And if there is any justice on earth, God, please hear our cries. Haunt these people for the rest of their lives. Please, God, please. This is the only justice possible after they celebrated 16 months of terror bombing, rape, torture, slaughter in Ukraine. Please hear our cries, God. It's the only just thing. If only they will be haunted for the rest of their lives. Sickening. It's sickening. I can't believe it's possible. I'm getting angry, so I'm going to actually end this stream now. Fucking sickos. Thank you guys for tuning in. The second stream, it was a smaller viewership today, but it's okay. We're going to build this stuff up. And, this is our platform to fight back against these scum. We're going to fight back against fascists, fight back against dictatorship, fight for democracy, fight for the idea that every human being has dignity.